come on in and join us.
We have our third victim of the purge today from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during the live premiere, we'd love to meet you. Come on into live chat and meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to show off our Space Snug EDP. We have had tons of fun wearing this since we got it right before the holidays.
Y'all, they always put these on a little bit of a sale during the Black Friday weekend, and this one is amazing. I'm not just going to say it's my favorite lactonic in the shaving world. I'm going to say it's the best lactonic in the shaving world. And y'all, Eggnog and his Atomic Age Bayram, are you kidding? This is a perennial in this house in July as much as it is December.
So true.
We love this thing. And what is our soap today?
We have Tribute, which surprisingly only has 2 scent notes listed, cherry and sandalwood.
But after Coconut Oud blew our skirts so far up they haven't come down yet, we wanted another 2 scent note soap. Let's meet it. All right, y'all, from the retired sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Scent Profile, an epic and alluring blend of cherry and sandalwood. A rich, deep, woody balsamic accord containing fruity, sweet, and tart accents with naturally occurring nuances of bitter almond. I'm drooling already. Right. A perfect balance of gourmand and masculine. First off, I can't really take credit for this one. Tribute is the brainchild of my good pal and wet shaving man about town, David Gonzalez, in parentheses, one of the founding members of the classic YouTube show, Wet Shavers Roundtable, and presently Real Talk on Instagram, co-hosted by Christopher David Bailey.
A great injustice has been committed. While so many OG wet shaving personalities within the community have been recognized for their contributions to wet shaving over the years, David has not. I hear even his wife Rocio got one, but sadly, this honor was never to be for David. An always the bridesmaid, never the bride type of situation for sure. Probably not the best metaphor when engaging with a male-dominated community, but you catch my drift.
So what does David do? Rather than just accepting this is how things are and take his cruel fate lying down, David hired me, yes me, to create his dream soap, Cherry and Sandalwood. Over a few weeks, both Fran and I tweaked, pushed, and pulled at the scent, and then shipped some options off to David. After a few more tweaks and voice messages via Facebook from David, we nailed it. David prefers to do the voicemail thing in chat. I don't get it either, but the man's an artist, nuff said. So with the new scent in hand, next he requested we call it Not a Tribute. Damn, I thought this endeavor would be quite punk rock when all was said and done, and it was.
So we created a batch so that David could dole them out to his buddies and called it a day. Well, soon the PMs and emails came. Seems word got out. Not a Tribute was a kick-ass scent, and gosh darn it, people wanted it. So I got to thinking it was pretty low of me to let David go through all this. This guy deserved a signature soap. There was something very stoic and zen about his approach, and I felt compelled to make it right. My only regret was I did not do this on my own the first time around. So now we've made it available to all, and no longer is it not a tribute, but a straight up, no bones about it, tribute. Salute, David. This has been a long time coming. Folks, you are absolutely going to enjoy Tribute. It's a crowd pleaser.
Note, I kept this sales page short in honor of David, who has made it very clear over the years that he is not a fan of my winded sales pages.
Y'all, Sandalwood, Cherry? Are you kidding me? We have not done Supreme Sandalwood yet, so we don't really know Douglas's Sandalwood kind of on its own. I am so excited for this. Let's open the box. So, y'all, during the retirement of the seasonals this year, Douglas also announced that a hefty amount of the perennials were also going to go away for a while. It was the great purge of 2025. Yes. Well, good thing we still had some Christmas money and gift cards and more Christmas money and a couple other gift cards hanging around because we picked up pretty much all of them. And we had to go through these early to make sure we were getting the right one. That's the one we want. Now, you did not see the rest of these, like Otra. You did not see Cabin Brute or Thought Forms, but you did see Tribute, y'all. Woo! I am so excited. We were talking earlier. I think most of the Cherry that we have covered on our show has been in some way a derivative of lost cherry, or it's meant to be an almond first, like an amaretto, something like that. So I am so excited to see what this one might be like. Is it going to be like regular cherry on a tree? Is it going to be maraschino cherry?
I have no idea.
And we've got the splash.
If I can open it. Look at that color.
Y'all, I am such a fan of the tinted aftershaves from PAA. Are you ready? Strap in for this tribute first impression.
Oh, there's even cherries on the cover.
No, I was just looking at this. I think we need to take bigger looks at these labels from time to time because there are so many little nooks and crannies to discover. There's Stonehenge from Fresco, and I'm guessing that is David
and
inside
then his logo.
the suit. Y'all, we have also instituted a label rating system here on the Barbershop Duet. These from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements are absolute wonders. Well, Douglas has a background in graphic design. No AI here. This is unreal. I'd probably put this about a 7.5 or an 8 on our label system.
There's a whole story happening. I don't know if I even know what the story is, but I want to figure it out.
I think they're running from something dangerous, and David's actually helping them escape. What do you think?
I think he's holding on to the cube.
Oh! He's got it in his hand. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd actually want to touch it. That might be a little dangerous. All right, it is time for me to give this to you to have a first impression. Take it in and see what you got.
Okay, cherry and sandalwood.
Right.
Okay. And we've learned 2 scent notes do not mean something simple.
If you saw that Coconut Oud episode, I even got caramel and popcorn from it at one point. Unreal. All right, here we go. Take it in, see what you get. It's like meeting a new friend when we smell these PAAs for the first time.
Oh, wow. It's definitely cherry and sandalwood.
Nice.
And the creaminess in both are kind of how they're interacting. So where sandalwood, a lot of the times you're like, oh, something woodsy, something creamy.
Right.
That's kind of jumping into the cherry side.
Oh.
So it's not the deepest cherry.
Okay.
And it's not the brightest cherry.
All right.
But I feel like it's still the cherry sort of inside out.
Now, having been in the wet shaving world for a while, I'd be a little remiss to not ask you, how is it related to Lost Cherry, the ubiquitous homage to the Tom Ford scent?
Let me smell thinking of that.
Yeah.
It's interesting because usually when you think cherry, for some reason, that can go a little more feminine sometimes.
Sure.
In Lost Cherry, it does go more masculine and more deep to me.
Ah, okay.
Here, it doesn't dive down to that full depths. I think the sandalwood helps balance them out. Like it really is meant to have both of those scent notes be prominent. Where Lost Cherry, I feel like the cherry is supposed to be the main character. This one, it kind of starts cherry and then it jumps down and it goes back to it just kind of keeps moving. So they really are meant to be on the same tiered pedestal, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go that deep and it doesn't go that bright. Like the sandalwood helps balance it out to kind of keep it in that mid zone for me.
Nice. Now let's talk about the sandalwood. We have experienced it in all kinds of ways. Sometimes really spicy and really woody, and sometimes really creamy and almost cream soda-y and gourmandy. How are you getting it in there?
I want to say it's definitely more the creamy side. Not necessarily that it wants to get too sweet or take a bite out of it. That's up to the cherry side.
Right.
Here, it's just kind of that creaminess, kind of more mellow vibe, if that makes sense. Like sometimes Lost Cherry, I feel like is much more dressed up, dolled up kind of a scent to me.
Yeah.
This is like an everyday, anytime kind of a scent.
Interesting.
Yeah, it has the masculine sides, but the cherry also helps it kind of not be as masculine at the same time.
Right.
So I don't feel like it needs to be a masculine feminine scent. I think it's just more a vibe, like a chill, mellow, fun twist on cherry and sandalwood.
Now, I know that almond and cherry on a molecular level in the olfactory world are super close. There's even a reference to it on the sales page. Do you get the cherry becoming almond in the middle?
That's a good question. I think when my brain starts to go like almost in that lane of it turning to almond, it doesn't fully change.
Right.
So my brain realizes, oh no, this is sandalwood at the end. It doesn't actually go to where it flips completely.
Right. That's what I was hoping. And there are certain scent notes. There was one from PAA Speakeasy that it gets super bright fast, but right before it begins to get too bright, it takes this immediate left-hand turn and balances everything out, and it's amazing. So it's almost like certain notes for me are like traffic cops. And when one starts to get too heavy or too sweet too fast, it's just there to go, So like in Amaretto Special for moon soaps, I get a beautiful cherry mixed with almond in the middle of that, but this uses the sandalwood to kind of help give that a one way or the other idea. Huh?
I think so. I think they are standing next to each other the whole time, and you can pick like which way your nose wants to catch first, but it immediately brings you back to the next one, and then immediately brings you back. So it's like that constant rotation. They don't actually completely blend into each other. They are their own scents, but they are best friends in this tub.
Nice. Now, with coconut oud, the miracle of that wasn't the coconut and the oud, but it's when they went together. An entire geode of scents burst open. Everything like from caramel to popcorn to like lots of stuff was in there for me.
Right.
What is happening where the cherry meets the sandalwood? Are we getting an equally mysterious little blend there?
Let me see.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually can smell where they're hitting in the middle. I think it's more like, you know, when you put oil and water and they don't actually mix, but they're both there. It's something like that. Like my brain actually knows it's one or the other. Like I'm not actually getting the centerpiece, where I agree in coconut oud, that middle zone was just like magic sauce. Everything kept switching.
Gotcha.
These just complement each other and live next to each other so well that they don't actually fully disappear into each other.
Maybe that's the magic. What a tug of war if they don't actually blend into each other, but they just kind of keep moving back and forth.
Yeah, you ready to see what you think?
I am. Y'all, first impressions on a PAA soap is like meeting a new friend. This is so exciting. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Beautiful pour.
Cherry and sandalwood. See what you think.
Oh, you're right. It's beautiful. Absolutely mellow, in the middle, charming, best friend, supporting. Nothing is jumping out as being too spiky or even too prominent. It's making a lovely vibe. Wow. Ooh.
I know, it was not what I imagined, but getting them together, I get it now.
Okay, and I'm getting way more sandalwood than cherry. The sandalwood for me is the doorman. And when you open it, the cherry's kind of back there a little bit, and he's like, hi. But it's in such a calm way. I grew up with grenadine syrup. I grew up with Roy Rogers and cherry cokes and maraschinos. That's kind of the layer of cherry I'm used to, is bordering on pomegranate. It is so sweet and syrupy. This isn't. Even Lost Cherry flirts with those directions. This is the other way. Imagine if you could take a cherry scent purely on its own and give it a masculine edge. You'd have to turn down its intensity a bit so it wouldn't be so screamingly bright red. It would just be delightfully crimson, nothing too screaming red. And yet, instead of going in a realistic direction, as it leaves maraschino land, it goes into almost a soapy, clean quality to the cherry itself, which is, I think, why that binds with the sandalwood, because what a beautiful, creamy, clean smelling wood that is. Okay, hold on. Let me see how they're standing next to each other.
Yeah, see if you can figure that out, because that was a good question, but my brain didn't go that route.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I see them like as a cake topper. One's right next to the other, but one is way shorter. The sandalwood is way taller. I feel like if they'd been in a more perfect balance where you could smell the cherry as much as the sandalwood, it would have taken something away from the sandalwood. Because that cherry, while it is super sweet, it is very bossy in its scent.
Right.
That's what it's doing. It's giving the sandalwood room to breathe and be the spice inside. Ooh.
Like, I wouldn't change the blend, but how you were asking that question, it made a lot of sense.
And y'all, we live walking distance from one of the most gourmet restaurants in the world, Chez Panisse, but it's very often about the quality of the ingredients and how they click together, not how many there are. A lot of their dishes only have 3 ingredients, and one of them is salt. That is what's happening here. Yeah. The cherry and the sandalwood are just so good. They don't need embellishment. They just need to stand next to each other.
And it's interesting. I wouldn't say that this is a crazy sense intensity, but how they're interacting are creating its own version of a scent.
You're right. If you look at this in one direction, it's like a 3. From another direction, it's like a 2. Another direction, it's a 4. That's part of that tug of war that's going on in here. Hotel Cecil does that sometimes too. Sometimes I can't really sense it, and sometimes it's like, oh, that's super strong. My nose is still kind of getting to know some of those notes in there. And you know, I am reminded of a video of a 7-year-old Talia going through Peter Chikalis' soap collection and pulling out a few of the PAAs that she loved. You know what's funny? If I had to spend the day with the nieces,
Yes.
this would be something I'd wear.
Agreed.
I don't want to be mean to it and say like, hey, kids would love this. But kids would love this.
Yeah.
There's something beautiful and nostalgic about it without it having to feel too grown up. And yet, at the end of the day, it's still sandalwood in all of its beautiful, elegant form.
Right.
Wow.
But it isn't like one of the normal classic aftershaves that kind of smells
No.
out of their zone.
No, this is a country mile from any of the aftershave homages. This is simpler in its construction, but deeper in its complexity. Wow.
And I can see why it was a perennial, because it's an anytime scent. I don't think it's necessarily seasonal,
No.
you know?
Noon, midnight,
Yeah.
summer, winter. This is beautiful. And in the center of it, it is soap. There's a fabulous soapy quality for me somehow. It's just like a grown-up bubble bath at the Carlisle Hotel. I'm not sure how to explain that, but some of you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, take baths. Want to fight about it? So to build our lather today, y'all, we're going to use our bougie sticks from Amazon so we don't contaminate the soap. And then we're going to throw some of this into our lather lid. This is one of the smartest inventions in the history of the wet shaving world. Because if you need to go on a quick trip and you need to do some shaving, all this does is screw onto the top of your favorite soap. That whole thing goes right in your carry-on. It fits on other artisans too. And this is a more recent addition to our den. This is the StarCraft brush from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. The bristles are a little bit softer and a little bit more pliable than the ones in the Atomic Rocket. I love the color. I love the shape. And y'all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the lather is already knocking at the door. Look at this. We did lather Irish coffee in an actual coffee mug to prove a point, but it didn't work anywhere near as well as this. And y'all, I know we never comment on lather here at the Barbershop Duet, but would you look at what I just made in this lid? Beautiful. The cherry and sandalwood are standing next to each other, tall and proud, not sharing too much of their personalities, but there is a little spark where they are coming together, where this gets spicier, where this gets sweeter, and where this doesn't really have a personality of either one. It's not major. You gotta look for it, but it is what is giving this its charm and its magic. And on our magic cleverness scale, I would probably give this a 7.5 or an 8 because of how these two rather simple notes are coming together with such magic. And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is Who Put Cherries in My Sandalwood with On 3, 1, 2. Smell for that moment where they come together. Wow, I don't get it as much here.
No.
I get it here in the lather. Do you smell that now where they're popping together?
It's funny, my brain almost got like the spices and Malbos for a second. Like something in the middle, like just had a little fun little character twist on there.
And this is where they hid the almond. Smell it in the lather.
Oh. Yeah, they're almost like a different texture, like a leathery kind of feeling.
Well, the cherry needs a tiny bit of the sandalwood to become that almond. Wow, y'all, this is beautiful. And y'all, when we do watch David Gonzalez, we love watching how that lather coats the face. Tells us a lot about the formula. And while we do not do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, would you like to put a little coat of that on your moneymaker?
It's such a nice brush.
Oh, yeah. Does the smell come out any different?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Okay, so here they're almost blending together so well, it's harder to pull them apart. Not that they've blended together, but they're creating a whole new, like, different, a little more masculine, a little less creamy, a little more of a texture to it.
Right.
I don't know how, if you could put like a encasing of sandalwood on top of a cherry, like somehow they've become a new thing.
And this is an interesting comment. I'm not sure I would know this is a PAA, but I'm not even sure why, because they are all so vastly different. I thought I was getting a handle on what they can do, but I was wrong. This is still outside that box.
I think we did the math and we have opened almost more than 80 Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and this is its own one.
Still just getting started. All right, cherry and sandalwood, but I'm wondering if I missed something on the sales page. Let's go back and look at the scent notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
An epic and alluring blend of cherry and sandalwood. Here's the descriptive words. Ready?
That's it. That's all you get.
Rich, deep, woody balsamic accord containing fruity, sweet, and tart accents with naturally occurring nuances of bitter almond. A perfect balance of gourmand and masculine. Yes, sir. That's it.
Oh, I recant my former statement.
Oh.
I found way more sandalwood at first.
Yes.
And then I just smelled this, And the sandalwood was like, bye. And I got mostly cherry.
Which is funny because I got mostly cherry first, and then I started to get more of the other sandalwood zone leading me in next. So maybe it really does change sides. I don't know. Look at this color. I think we only have one other one from them that's close to this color.
Immortal Peach, Sangre de Drago. I love it when my splashes have all color to them. Hey, let me do the honors.
Yeah, you got to pop it open. It's brand new.
The new plug on the glass orifice. All right, y'all. This is how they come from Artisan Accoutrements, so they won't drip in the mail.
Yep.
But when you do pop this little thing off, you can't put it back in again because it does this when it opens. Ha ha! There you go. That's how you know good things are about to happen.
Oh, some of that orange juice.
Oh, look at that. Would you like some of that?
Yes, I would. Oh, get ready, y'all.
Here we go. L'chaim.
Is it going to change here again?
That's different. That's different.
Oh, wow. Okay, this almost smells like a men's cologne kind of thing.
That's what I was about to say. I have no idea how. But my brain was like, what year are you in right now? I feel like we're in the late 50s, early 60s. And this is a vibe of a cologne that somebody's wearing.
Okay,
this
the
is wild.
sandalwood here.
Y'all.
My friends.
Oh,
this is
different.
A thing.
It's different. It's way spicier in the splash. You getting that?
That's funny. You woke up the deaf dog. We got too excited.
Y'all, this is different. This is wild. What do you? It's almost like I'm almost getting the smell of like a red wine inside the sandalwood. Wow.
There's a whole new layer of texture. Like
Yeah,
now I'm
there
getting
is.
the bark of the sandalwood. Like something else happened to it.
This is a tribute and a half. Hold on. Oh. Woo! I don't think I've ever experienced a soap with such a difference in the splash before. This is amazing.
Okay, and I was trying to find the cherry. Like now the cherry disappeared a little bit.
Yes.
It's there.
Yes.
But it is not as prominent here.
In this, maybe the sandalwood is somehow supporting the cherry, and in the splash, the cherry is supporting the sandalwood. But it's not because of the percentages.
No.
There's something else going on in here that's magic. They didn't just turn one up and turn one down.
No, and I think the cherry is here, but it's the deeper cherry or almost like a dried cherry.
Like a cooked cherry.
Yeah, something happened
inside
to it.
of a home pie. You know, home pies, 98 cents a metric ton in the summer. They expire tomorrow, so you gotta eat them fast.
Okay, we often read something that's like a cherry wood. I feel like it's something in that lane in the splash.
That's why she's here, folks. Rosewood, cherrywood. Are there any better scents in the world? And this is both cherry and sandalwood, but I think where they are coming together, that mysterious thing I identified, that's what's going on.
Like my brain is getting the image. It's not cinnamon, but if cherry and sandalwood could be turned into like a cinnamon bark, that's where I'm at.
That's what was in the middle. That's what's happening. It's brighter, it's lighter, it's spicier, it's sweeter, and it's not either one.
No, but it's almost like a recreation of a whole new, like if you could grow such thing as a cherry sandalwood, I feel like we're there.
I have never put on 3 coats of the splash on this show before in my life.
I will join you.
Y'all, if you think you know a cherry scent, what I love best about this is you don't. From all of the scratch and sniff stickers to the scented markers to the other shaving soaps to the perfumes to everything else in this world where I have smelled cherry, I thought I knew it. Well, and let me make this point.
Okay.
I thought I knew it because there's not much variation, olfactory speaking, in how cherry is made. Somehow, this one is different. And this one is special. I don't even know if it's like a real cherry. I don't think it is. But y'all, there is magic in this note because that is definitively what this is without going almond and then putting that against the sandalwood. This is why we love PAA.
I'm curious if more the feminine kind of cherry, like brighter side comes out.
I get kind of an oak liqueur from you.
Right?
This is wild.
And then, but right before it dries down, I get more of the cherry. But as it dries down, it kind of changes.
Tuna and fear? Is that
Yes,
what's moving?
exactly.
See? It almost turns into tobacco
Yes.
in the middle.
That's what I meant by earlier. There's almost a slight hint towards a Malbogie-ish
Beautiful.
in the PAA line of something I can find for you.
Beautiful. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be an enthusiast who has found their way to this wet shaving hobby and would like a lot more of you to find your way there too. You're going to do a bunch of YouTube videos. You're going to build up your community. And just about the time Douglas Smythe realizes you've never had a tribute soap, my friend, you are going to get your own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com, or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Oh, y'all, the more I get to know Tribute, the more I find the florals, the more I find the spices, the more I find whirlwinds spinning around where these scent notes come together. Brand new colors, brand new ideas, brand new adventures. Thank you, Douglas and Fran, for this. And the Phoenix base is just an old friend, allowing my most aggressive razors to feel the most smooth and silky against my face. Douglas and Fran, thank you for this, for the purge, and for the 9 we still have waiting on the piano. Welcome to Messages.
So for our February giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get a $20 gift card to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you, mention the Phoenix giveaway, and check back here on our first March episode when we draw our lucky winner on the show.
Best of luck.
Almost a hay note where they come together.
Yep.
That's what I love about these two scent note soaps from PAA. When they come together, it is an explosion. New planets and stars are created.
I'm very excited to keep digging through this big box that we have going on
From
over
the
here.
Purge.
Because if Coconut Oud and now Tribute, we thought were more simple ones, I can see why they were on the perennial list, because both of those you should have in your den all the time for any day, any purpose. They're the ones.
Yeah, y'all, we thought we were going to start with the more simpler of soaps, but boy, were we wrong, and I can't wait to see what the battle smells like.
I'm glad we were wrong, because I can't imagine what the rest is gonna be like.
Y'all stay tuned, and don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.